Now, Mr. Ogwade, conduct of the politician is aided by the lawyers. Do you agree with him?
You have been alleged.
And you're a constitutional lawyer.
You allegedly aid the politicians in their misconduct.
Obviously, that's the work of a lawyer. That's what the lawyer is trained to do. I mean,
to aid the politicians in their
no,
misconduct.
not to aid the politicians.
That's what he said.
No, I'm going somewhere. So
Okay.
just let me land before.
Okay.
So, really, what I'm trying to say is that the lawyer is trained to defend his client. So the politician comes to him that, look, this is what I want. He will do it. It's just akin to a doctor or an architect.
Okay, so if, for instance, I'm a politician and I
Yes.
come to you, the electoral dispute must be settled within 270 days, and I say, can you help me make sure till 500 days, let
till
it continue?
eternity, yes.
Okay.
That's just it. But where I'm going is that, you see, everything now lets squarely on the people. Where I'm saying everything
On
less
the
on the
people?
people, yes, is because, you see, we have laws that are 1914 laws. They are called laws of the Federation. Those are the laws we still operate. All these laws, the 1999 Constitution and all, they are all just a clothing of that are brought out from the 1914. What I'm trying to say is that until we have straight laws that can deal with issues, we call it lacuna in the law. If there is a lacuna, the work of a lawyer is to go through that lacuna, take advantage of that lacuna to perpetrate injustice in the name of justice, protecting and defending his client's interests. But where we have countries like South Korea, within 22 weeks or 2 months, the whole matter is settled. And that's why I adopt some of the sentiments of my brother here. And it's doable. We saw it now that because the politicians, they too know that they too have been beneficiaries, either as victims or as victors in that process, they now streamline the Electoral Act that no, within 120 days, so all these things must be done. So it's doable. So if it's done within 120 days, they should go further. Of course, they will want to stretch the Section 33 of the 1999 Constitution, freedom of fair hearing, that I have the right. Look, if I'm in court, the court cannot strain me. The judge cannot say, no, Mr. Ogwade, sit down. I have to, it's my case. That's how we say it in law. And I have the right to promote and prosecute my case. Those are the latitude that the legal framework has created for impunity to thrive. But once there are regulations that say, no, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, everybody will sit up. But because there is no regulation to that effect, that's why a candidate can line up 1,000. Let me give you an example. Some of us who are activists, if we want to go to court, we know that there are some lazy judges. I would deliberately go with maybe 2 suitcases of books. Once the judge says that we want to argue this matter today, I say, yes, my lord, I'm ready to go on. No, you take another date.
You've just let out your trade secret.
No, it's part of it. So once the judge says that I want you and your own is that you are not ready, but it's just a bold face. Then the judge says, no, he adjourns the matter. And who suffers? The other party. So you see, these are lacuna, but if there is a practice direction that no, this is a trial date, today you must go on. If you like, bring all the suitcases in the airport and bring them. I'm ready to listen to you.
Because would an election, a separate election offences commission or court, would it help to solve this matter? This matter of extensions, unnecessary extensions?
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't think so. You know, like he said, it is because of the judiciary. That is why on the 28th of February, you're not going to have elections in Anambra, Bayelsa, Edo, Ekiti, Osun. Why? Because somehow, somewhere, because of the manipulations and whatever intrigues of the judiciaries, some people got their adjudication years or months after. And because of that, because they have to now stay and to the expiration and fulfill their tenure, the whole thing now got from the lacunas in the law now, they've caused general lacunas in the country. And what we want to do, or what we want to encourage ourselves as Nigerians to do this time around, is to, as much as possible, reduce the effect or reduce acts that will make us to need the judiciary. It's just like saying, if you decide to behave in a civic manner, to a reasonable extent, you may not have anything to do with the police. And that's what we want to see. Because in these elections, as far as some of us are concerned, the real or key stakeholders are the electorate, right, the politicians, and the umpire. We didn't mention the judiciary. So if the electorate will behave themselves, right, if the politicians will control their political venoms and utterances, and if the umpire will behave in national interest, I'm telling you, the judiciary will be not really consigned to irrelevancy, but will probably be sleeping. And that is honestly good for Nigeria. You're not discarding them, but that thing that will necessitate them coming to be punctuating the political, the economic processes of making leaders to sit and see how we said we want to redesign the future of Nigeria should be reduced.
Okay.
Let's, what he said, the conduct of the electorate,
yes,
the conduct of the politicians,
yes,
and the umpire,
would, in quote, relegate the judiciary to the background.
Obviously.
Let's look at that, weighed against a statement credited to the chairman of INEC that they had over 80,000 election offenders from the last election.
Yes.
Now, those election offenders have not been tried. I asked a question about the Electoral Commission. Now, those election umpires, there are those who are like worried because if they cannot prosecute those election offenders from the last election and we're going to another election, there might be a problem. So with the two of them, how would that work out?
The big issue is it only in Nigeria that we have elections or conduct elections? Our brothers, Benin Republic, or we stretch it further to Ghana. Because if I say America now, they say, look at this man. Don't have all this crisis of the judiciary intervening in the electoral process. And I like the way my brother just brought those three principal actors out. The umpire. And that's why I like the rotary test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it bring goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So you have a duty, a sacred duty. How have you done it in the interest of the people? If your conduct is right and clear, then no wahala. All of us are witnesses to what happened in the recent primaries in the various political parties. As I'm talking to you now, because the courts are in holiday strike, that's why. If not, you will have been seeing a whole lot of litigation and you will not be sure who is the candidate. You remember Anambra, till the eve of the election, we are not sure who will be the candidate of a political party. Because they were presenting, the court was discharging one party and one candidate from the other. Is it only in Nigeria that we have elections? So it's the politicians, the empire, and the electorate per se that normally causes all this wahala of putting all this, making it now a judicial issue. And again, they make it a judicial issue. It's a deliberate thing, like I was saying some few minutes ago, so that they will take advantage of it. Look at it. Ngige was a governor for more than close to 3 years, and Shegoni and so on. They spent money, but the one that went into their pocket and the contracts they gave out.
No, we can't talk about the ones that went into their pocket. They were in office.
They were in office. Where I'm going is that all those monies that were spent, though the office was illegal, he occupied that office illegally, taking advantage.
As declared by the court.
Until the court declared.
No, they've already done that. That's why he was removed now.
That's what I'm saying. I said until that time, it wasn't illegal because they were still waiting.
That's what I'm saying. So now that they did it and they knew that that was it, from the onset, I mean, they came out, the man came out and said they rigged the election in his favor. So all those monies that were, and they knew, so they would deliberately do it. Right. But my own issue is that we must, from now, look at it, how do we get the electorate, the judiciary, out of electoral issues? Because we are bogged down. Just as your question, yes, there are 180,000 so people who have yet for electoral offenses. Right. Because the laws, again, are not there. So that's what I was going initially. You see, those who are supposed to make laws must make laws for the good governance. That's what Section 6, Section 4 of the Constitution imposes on the National Assembly. Make good laws. But where laws are there, people, criminals and people who have committed one misdemeanor or felony or the other, go scot-free, then definitely it will encourage impunity in the land. And that's why you have people, as I'm talking to you now, people are planning how to disturb the 2015 election too. Because they know those who did it in 2011 have not been punished. And because of that, they will do it with impunity. Don't worry. So because the law is not strong enough to punish offenders. If the laws are strong enough to punish offenders, as we are talking now, we'll say, yes, this man is in jail, that man is in jail, that woman is in jail. People will sit down. If they say, come out and do it, I don't want to go to jail. But now you know that there is no jail for anybody. So
are you throwing it back to the National Assembly?
I'm throwing it back. Look, we, the judiciary, you know, for us lawyers, yes, we have our role to play. And the whole, I told you from the onset, the foundation is that lawyers are trained. It is the lacuna. The best lawyer is known by his ability to look how to how to take advantage of the loophole. That's the best lawyer.
Is it circumventing the law?
No, I said loophole, taking advantage of the law, not loopholes. But okay, that's what the lawyer is trained for. A good lawyer knows how to take advantage of the law to his advantage of his client. The same thing in our profession. If you take an architect to a waterlogged area, he won't say, "Oh, guy, we know if you build this house."
A tax consultant.
Or a tax consultant. All the story is that you ensure that you don't have anything in your pocket. So